Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, the seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144, the chosen of the chosen of the chosen few. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Akila Textry, reporting to you live from the fifth dimension at 5D consciousness in the divine energy essence of it all. And I want to welcome us to the extension of this 2023 year that we're in. For those of us who are more enlightened, let's say, for those of us who are a part of the new collective consciousness, the true collective consciousness, who knows that the year is not over. So welcome to the extension of 2023. We're still in that universal year of seven, so to speak. Right, so of course I bring to you the news that you choose to infuse with, if you so choose, if you choose to. And as always I say, I choose to infuse with the light. How about you? Let's do some infusion right now, because as we're crossing over, or as we are extending, there's some things going on. There's a lot of things happening multidimensionally, multiple levels. But most of us know that. So in this news that I bring us all, first off, I want to congratulate all of you who have transitioned into this new paradigm, this new shift where we are standing still. And although the world is saying Happy New Year, we're saying no, no ma'am, no sir, it's not. No ma'am, no spam, no ham. We're not buying it and we're not selling it. This is not the new year. And I know I'm not the only one, because I've seen within the past couple of days so many content creators who have spoken up about this, who some that I've watched previously. Like, I'm seeing so many more people. So as I said, this is definitely a year where we're shattering the glass, we're breaking through. You're definitely seeing that split between the two worlds. The old world is really falling away. The rubble the concrete, the buildings are falling down. Those structures, big boulders of concrete, are falling down. And yes, some of us are trapped under those boulders. Some people are getting trapped under those boulders, and I'm going to explain that to you as I share. I want to share something with you this time that came up in a dream and has to do with these energies. Now it's very clear with what's happening with us while some people are trapped under those boulders, and how we can free ourselves and help be a catalyst, help be a part of others freeing themselves. Notice I'm not saying free anyone. It's not our job to save anyone. We are to be our own superheroes. And in doing that, you'll see as I show you how it reflects to others. So I'm going to share this dream that I had that kind of brings this to light, and how it applies to right now. But before I do, I want to talk about also this season that we're in. We're in the heart chakra season. I don't know how many of you know, but there are chakra seasons that align with the seasons, and it's not as exact as the 4 seasons that we have, obviously, because there are 7 chakras, so it doesn't always align evenly with the same 4 chakras as winter, spring, summer, fall. It aligns with them, but not always the same. For example, last year around this time, winter, the chakra that we were on was the crown chakra. It was a crown chakra season. It generally lasts for about as long as the seasons last. And now it's come back around. If you count each season now coming from last year, if you look at the winter as the crown chakra, then count from the seasons coming back around. Spring would have been the root, summer would have been the sacral, fall would have been the solar plexus, and winter, where we are again now, falls on the heart. Right, so we're at the heart chakra, and this heart chakra season is really catapulting us. It's boosting us, it's supporting us into where we need to go in this season of respiriting. I'm seeing it on so many levels, and it's helping us in this the three steps that I was able to break down to you as well about the respiriting season. From dusk to dawn, which really kind of contains those 3 steps of understanding, insight, and intuition, right? And which leads us into our wisdom. Ultimately, we come out of the darkness, out of the respirit season, the winter season, the darkness, where the nights are usually darker, longer. We come out of it with wisdom, right? This is a point of gaining that wisdom. And for more explanation, you can look at, of course, the previous videos where I really specifically am talking about these 3 steps. However, the heart chakra is really doing so much to blend this all together for us. It's really giving it to us, because if you think about it, the first step or stage is understanding, and that comes from the heart. So it springs forth, from the heart that is supporting us. So we really, really need to tap into our heart-centered selves, do heart chakra exercises, things like that, that's going to help us transition over into this what's really important for this month that we're in, this 10th month, right? There's the 10th month, the 11th month, and the 12th month. We're in the last 3 months of the year before we hit the new year. So why do I say that? And I'm going to explain a little bit more. This is what I'm sharing with you, is what I got on day 1. What they call January 1st really is what we call the first day of the 11th month, because December is the 10th month. And of course it's going to have to be tailored as we are transitioning and we're returning back to our true timelines, and it's going to have to be adjusted to where the months actually begin according to our ancient ones, which will be aligned with the cosmos, the signs, the houses, what they call the zodiacs, but I call them the signs. That's where the months begin. So the 10th month actually begins in Capricorn, but for now we're going to keep it more simplified. So what they call December, the 12th month, is really the 10th month, right? So as we're in January, we're looking at technically, or figuratively speaking, the 11th month, first day of the 11th month. So what I'm going to share with you is how the power of love conquers all. That's the message I got out of that dream. Love conquers all. Love gives us our super abilities, right? We conquer everything with the power of love, right? That our biggest superpower is love, and that love is the very fuel that powers all of our super abilities. Like, we really are powered up by that love. I really was shown that in this dream. Love is what activates it and makes it go. It's the fuel that actually says go, go, go. In order for us to break that concrete that I was speaking about, to lift the stones to save those or that which is trapped under the fallen rubble, those ideas that we may have that are trapped under the fallen old paradigms, right? Some of us are still trapped on what has fallen, right? We must power up in love to activate the varying capabilities that we harness, right? So our capabilities are right there for us, but we got to power up, and love is that fuel that gives it to us. So in my dream, just to share a little bit of what it was, in my dream I was shown that it's almost like there was some fallen rubble and someone was trapped under that, and it was my love for them that I could see that powered me up. Like, it's almost like I didn't know that I had these abilities yet, and as I felt the love for wanting them out of that rubble, and it's almost like I'm seeing them, but I feel it for me. So it's like seeing me through them, if that makes sense. And the more my love grew, like I felt my love intensifying, the powers just kicked in, and I started to beam things from my eyes to break the concrete. Like, it was almost feeling like a Superman type thing, breaking the concrete with the laser beams, or the fire from my eyes broke the concrete. And then the next thing I felt was something, lifting it away, removing it away. All of a sudden I had the power to just blow it away, lift the rubble, and then I was able to lift the person and like fly away with them, so to speak, right? And then it feels as if, like I said, the person was me. So in that same dream, I was shown that as we harness unconditional love, as I was explaining, that we harness unconditional love at varying levels, that it deepens our capacity to filter it through the light that we hold, right? We amplify our capability to express our superpowers to save those who are under the rubble of fallen concrete. Remember, this also is meaning yourself and your old ideas that are under that rubble. So by understanding, which is love, the light that is within the soul self, or what I call the selfie, right? The selfie self, the soul self. So by understanding that, as I said, comes from love, the light within that soul self, the light within that soul self, and the truth that radiates out like fire. So because of that light that is within the soul self, the truth, which represents the true heart vibration, it radiates like fire from your eyes. Remember, the eyes are the windows to your soul. So it's like I'm seeing the soul self. Like I said, that person I'm seeing is really the soul self, the self of myself. And so we're able to radiate fire. And this goes for all of this. Like, kind of take this in as this may be my dream, but I'm sharing it because I see the meaning, the metaphysical meaning behind it, and how it applies to all of us. As I woke up, I heard this is how we get in touch with our superpowers, right? Everybody has it. It's not just me. It's not specific, right? So this is why I'm sharing this with you all, right? So the fire radiates from your eyes, which then breaks the concrete. So it breaks whatever we had concrete. Think of that concrete, as I said, concrete thoughts that we had within us. It breaks that. And then, and when it breaks that, and what was once heavy, there it goes. What was once heavy on the soul is now lifted. So something that we might have been tussling with, hard to loosen the grip, whatever it is, this concrete from the old paradigm, it was what once felt heavy is now lifted, right? It's lifted by the wind as the lightness of the heart, right? The wind is also, see, the wind is blowing. The wind is also the element of the heart chakra. So as the wind lifts, the wind from the heart, because you're pouring from the heart, it's the lightness of the heart. That wind just lifts the rubble, right? And I am the I that I am that I am, then is able to lift the person and fly, right? That person means you, the sun, S-O-N-S-U-N, sun, per Christ consciousness. When I say per sun, I mean per that Christ consciousness mind, if you understand what I'm saying. It's able to lift that person and fly as I have lifted myself. So really lifting that person is lifting myself. Right? So understand that, overstand that as we are healing ourselves, we are healing others, as we are superheroes onto ourselves. And that's the rest of it that I wanted to get into with you, that as I have become the love, because that's what happened in that instant, as I have become the love, which is understanding, that has lifted myself. That love that has lifted myself, I become my own superhero. And therefore, through the law of an associative property that simplifies to an identity property, I become a superhero to the one whom I identify with as myself, as they too identify with me. So it is because I have identified with this person, as I'm seeing, it's like the card that I pulled once that says, "Into me I see," meaning I can see me into you. The more I'm seeing you, I'm seeing me. So by that associative property that has been simplified in an identity property of myself, how I see them as I see myself, and as they identify with me, right, as well, equally. And as I am in realization that I am my own hero, it extends to the one who identifies with me. So this is how we help each other. It extends to them when they identify with us. The one who identifies with me through their own association in this identity of oneness with the divinity of it all, right? And I know that may sound like a lot, but it's exactly what it felt like when we identify with others as ourselves, and they too identify with us. And this sounds like such a namaste, because that's what namaste means, right? When I behold and honor that Christ in you, or that beauty and goodness in you, and you in turn honor that in me, then we are truly one, and therefore we are at namaste, right? So this is when we identify that in each other. So it's really the identity property, and also through association, because of how I associate with you, right? And how you would in turn associate with me. I'm saying this for us to understand this is what the next level is, for us to know that this is how we save others, to get our mind off of saving others and really to see yourself. And when you realize you're a hero onto yourself, you become that hero as well onto another, but they're going to realize that they are a hero onto themselves. because it extends to them. And as they see you lift the boulders, they too find the power and the capabilities within themselves to lift the boulders. This is the understanding. This is the love that brings a new level of understanding for us all, right? Now, this led me to the understanding that this love as understanding is to be practiced throughout this 10th month as the first steps or stage of the respirativity within the darkness of winter, which is the stage that we're in and the season that we're in. So you see how this is strategic in how, I want to say it's synchronistic. This is a beautiful synchronicity that we have this to look at as we're transitioning, as we're extending this 2023, because we understand that it's not over. Also, as we're understanding we're in the winter, we're respiriting. And also as we're overstanding and understanding the heart chakra season that supports us. Everything that comes with the qualities of the heart is supporting us, right? So we are to make the practical, make it all practical with all fears, right? All fears, or not fears, sorry, getting rid of the fears. Let me be clear. This is what's helping us remove the fears. It's the releasing time as well. So make it practical with all focus on understanding. And the heart chakra, love, is to feed it all to unity, to unify the wisdom into unity, into that unity love frequency, to unify the wisdom, right? So it's with the focus on understanding this month. That's what that 10th month is about, the December 10th month. So I'm saying, although, let me be clear, because I know you heard me say that this was the first day, the day that I'm talking about, January 1st, the first day of the 11th month. Mind you, that the reality is that the 10th month actually began at the beginning of Capricorn season. So really we're still in that 10th month, if you get what I'm saying. But to make it simple, just so that we understand the last 3 months as 10, 11, 12, we look at December, January, February. All right. But however you look at it, whether you look at the 10th month as being the entire month of December, from December 1st to the 31st, or whether you look at it as it beginning at Capricorn and ending at on, I believe, the 20th of January, where, you know, Aquarius then sets in the next day. If you're looking at it like that, either way, that 10th month is that moment where we are to be practicing that first stage, right? The 1, 2, 3 that we talked about. The 1, 2, 3 is the 10, 11, 12. So the 10th month, which is really 1, is the first step or the first stage in this darkness, in this respiriting activity where we are to bolster ourselves in understanding. And it is in this step that we really put down the ego. This is the real quieting of the ego activity, where we are truly putting ourselves in a spirit of understanding, right? Where we're able to allow love to bring us that peace that surpasses all understanding. Love that expands our capacity to have compassion. Right now, it's really for us to have compassion mainly with ourselves, so that we can extend it to others. Even if someone has wronged you, it's not for us to be focused on that right now. The focus is to gain an understanding, get a new perspective, a true perspective, by sitting in the stillness and allowing understanding to allow you to see you in this person. That person that may be having, it may be your idea that's trapped under that rubble. It may be that person. It may be someone you want to save. It may be someone who did you wrong. Either way, there's something trapped under that rubble, and it's for you to see you, right? So this is what I have to share on that aspect of it, right? That's the dream that I wanted to share with you. And before I go, I'm going to share what else came of that day. So, and I say all of this so that we understand, overstand, and understand how to transition into these 3 months, because I hear a lot of people who recognize this day, recognize that this is not the end of the year, and it's, what do we do? You know, what do we do from here? When does the year begin? And how do we look at these 3 months? This is why we need a community. This is why we need a calendar, especially to help those of us who are rising from this, rising from the rubble, rising in the new paradigm. We need to have our own calendar and guidelines. So this is why I suggest that those of us who are aware of this get a calendar that is clear, and you put the dates in there with the understanding that these are the last 3 months of the year, and whether you want to utilize it the way I've said, whether it's December, January, February in its entire month, or you want to go by the signs, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Those are the last 3 cycles of the year as well, right? But understanding that those 3 represent the 3 steps and stages, understanding, insight, and intuition. So right now we're focusing on that understanding,